August 9, 378 AD, 6 miles outside Adrianople in Thrace. The heat is unbearable. Dust coats the throat. The sun beats down like a hammer. On the Roman side stands Emperor Valens. 40,000 men, the finest legions Rome can muster. Armored infantry, cavalry on heavy horses, archers from Syria. They have conquered the world. They have crushed every enemy for 600 years. On the Gothic side stands Fritigern. 20,000 warriors, men, women, children behind them. They are not an army. They are a nation on the move. They have fled the Huns. They have crossed the Danube. They have been betrayed by Rome. They are hungry. They are desperate. They are angry. What happens in the next 5 hours will shatter Rome. It will kill an emperor. It will prove that cavalry defeats infantry. And it will mark the beginning of the end. The Roman Empire was dying. In 376, the Goths arrived at the Danube. They had fled the Huns, a people they called demons on horseback. The Goths begged Rome for refuge. Emperor Valens agreed. He would let them settle in Thrace. They would become foederati, allied troops. They would fight for Rome. In exchange, they would receive land and food. The Goths crossed the Danube. 200,000 souls, men, women, children. They expected Rome to honor its word. Rome did not. The Roman governors in Thrace were corrupt. They stole the food meant for the Goths. They sold Gothic children into slavery. They tortured Gothic hostages. The Goths starved. They ate dogs. They ate grass. They ate their own dead. Fritigern, a Gothic chieftain, tried to negotiate. The Romans refused. The Goths took up arms. The Gothic War began in 376. The Goths raided Thrace. They burned villages. They looted farms. They killed Roman officials. Valens was in Antioch. He was fighting the Persians. He sent his general Sebastianus to deal with the Goths. Sebastianus won small victories. He ambushed Gothic raiding parties. He killed thousands. Fritigern realized the Goths could not win a war of attrition. They needed a decisive battle. They needed to force Valens to negotiate. Fritigern marched on Adrianople. The city refused to open its gates. The Goths besieged it. They could not take it. They lacked siege equipment. Valens heard the news. He marched from Antioch. He arrived in Constantinople in May 378. He prepared for war. His nephew Gratian, Emperor of the West, sent reinforcements. Gratian urged Valens to wait. He was bringing 30,000 more men. He would arrive in 2 weeks. Valens did not wait. He was jealous of Gratian. He wanted the glory for himself. He marched from Constantinople on August 6. He reached Adrianople on August 8. He found the Goths. Fritigern had fortified his camp with wagons, a wagon laager, a circle of wagons with gaps for cavalry to charge through. Women and children were inside. The men stood outside. They formed a shield wall. Valens arrived at noon. His army was exhausted. They had marched 6 miles in summer heat. The Goths had set fires. Smoke drifted over the Roman positions. The Romans choked. They could not see. They could not breathe. Valens called a council of war. Some generals urged an immediate attack. Others urged caution. Wait for Gratian. The Goths would not escape. Valens decided to attack. He was told the Goths had only 10,000 men. He was wrong. Fritigern had 20,000, and he was waiting for reinforcements. Gothic cavalry under Elatheus and Saphrax. They were on their way. Valens did not know this. He formed his battle line. The Roman infantry in the center, the cavalry on the wings, the archers behind. He prepared to attack the Gothic wagon laager. Fritigern sent envoys. He offered peace. He asked for land. He asked for food. He asked for Rome to honor its word. Valens refused. He demanded unconditional surrender.
Fritigern smiled. He was stalling. He waited for his cavalry. The envoys returned. Fritigern sent more envoys. Valens grew impatient. He ordered the attack. The Roman infantry advanced. They marched toward the wagon lagger. The Goths held their ground. The Romans were 500 yards away. 400. 300. Then the Gothic cavalry arrived. Alathius and Saphrax crashed into the Roman left wing. The Roman cavalry was swept aside. They fled. The Gothic cavalry pursued. They returned. They hit the Roman infantry from the rear. The Romans were surrounded. The Gothic infantry charged from the front. The wagon lagger opened. Women and children threw rocks. They shouted insults. They killed any Roman who fell.
The Roman infantry held. For 3 hours they held. They formed a testudo, shields locked. They killed Goths who came too close. But they were surrounded. They were exhausted. They were dying one by one. The heat was killing them. Men collapsed from heat stroke. The Goths kept coming, wave after wave. The Roman line began to buckle. Then it broke. The retreat became a rout. The Goths pursued. They killed without mercy. 2/3 of the Roman army died that day. 30,000 Romans dead. The finest legions of Rome extinguished in one afternoon. Valens was wounded. He was carried from the battlefield. He was taken to a farmhouse. The Goths found it. They did not know he was the emperor. They burned the house. Valens burned alive. The emperor of Rome, the most powerful man in the world, burned alive by barbarians who did not know who he was.
The aftermath of Adrianople changed everything. Rome had lost its army. It had lost its emperor. It had lost its invincibility. Gratian became the sole emperor. He appointed Theodosius as co-emperor. Theodosius made peace with the Goths. He gave them land. He gave them food. He made them foederati. The Goths became part of Rome. They served in the Roman army. They protected the empire. For a time. In 410, the Visigoths under Alaric sacked Rome. The first time Rome had fallen in 800 years. The Western Empire collapsed in 476. The Eastern Empire survived for another 1,000 years. But Adrianople marked the beginning of the end. The Goths had shown that Rome could be defeated, that legions could be destroyed, that emperors could die. The barbarians had learned that Rome was not invincible. They would keep coming, and Rome would keep falling.
The lesson of Adrianople is about arrogance. Valens believed Rome was eternal. He believed his legions were unbeatable. He believed the Goths were savages. He did not respect his enemy. He did not wait for reinforcements. He did not listen to his generals. He attacked an entrenched enemy in summer heat. He was surrounded by cavalry he did not see coming. Arrogance killed Valens. Arrogance killed 30,000 Romans. Arrogance kills empires. Rome did not fall in a day. It fell slowly. It fell because it stopped adapting. It stopped respecting its enemies. It stopped being Rome. If you want to hear more stories like this, stories of empires falling and rising, of battles that changed the world, subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a history. Next week, we will tell the story of Karbala, the day one man stood against an empire, and his death became a revolution. Thank you for watching.